Welcome back to Excellence in Motion. If you joined us last time, you know that Aryana Kapree brought insight, grace, and authenticity to the mic. And today, we're picking up right where we left off. In part 2, Aryana dives even further into her creative journey, her dreams, and the legacy she's building. So let's jump right back in. What would you say has been the most rewarding part of your overall journey thus far? Anything from a milestone or a moment that made you feel like, wow, like I really do this?
I think it was Grammy Camp. I think it was Grammy Camp because that was the first time I really seen myself as somebody who could really do the thing and take it far. I've always had the faith, I always had the want and the need to perform and put out my work and things of that nature. But I remember when I was first sent the link to audition for it, I was like, what the heck? Why would you send me this? Like, I'm never going to get into this. This is literally, we're talking about the Grammys. We're talking about Los Angeles. We're talking about, I'm just regular, just me from Pennsylvania. I'm not, this is too big for me. And my manager was just like, just do it. Just try it. Just send it. Like, you're good, bro. You're good. Just send it. I'm like, whatever. I sent it, and I got in. And I was like, what? And to know that I got in was just, like, such a exciting experience, but also, like, eye-opening for me a little bit. Because it truly did show me that I was able to, and I hate this word. I hate to make it like this, but compete on a national level. It made me feel good about myself.
Yeah, that's really wonderful. And I know that doing more research about it, when I initially read an article about you getting in, I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, that's what's up. Good for her.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did some more research about what it actually was and how competitive it was. And it just became so much more cool. And just that fear of like, I really love what I do and I love doing it. And I don't want to apply to do something competitive with it and then not win.
Yeah.
Because like when you're in your own bubble doing your thing and being creative, it's so personal, it's really vulnerable, and it's like you feel like you're the best because you don't compare. And so I think that comparison most definitely is the thief of joy, but it's also a really good experience when you do it and then you are actually the best.
Yes.
And so I cannot wait to see all of the fruits of that because that is so exciting and I'm like so excited for you. Every artist faces obstacles along the way. So, what is one of the biggest challenges that you've encountered in your creative journey, and how did you push through it?
A little bit what I mentioned before about losing that sense and losing that direction. I feel like I went through a time in my life of not only just like negative feelings and depression of that nature, but I feel like it really reflected in my work. And I feel like I lost what I initially intended my work to be and what I initially wanted it to be. And my dad told me something that really stuck with me, and he was just saying, like, just because you're good at it doesn't mean that you should do it. And that really stuck with me because as a writer, I don't know if you can relate to this or not, but I always say, like, we're able to make the most worst things sound so good and sound so just amazing, and it's such, like, a dark sense of, like, I can't think of the word, but just, like, creativity in it. And I knew that that was not something that I wanted to put into the world, and I knew that me being at such a foundational stage in my career, I feel like I'm not in a place to loosely release things that are not intentional because I am building a foundation, and I need to let people know who I am and what I'm about before I let them know about things that are interchangeable, things that don't align with my values, just things that I may be going through at the time.
That's very important and that is really powerful because as a writer and as someone who creatively articulates things, it is really dangerous because you are so creative and you do articulate things in a way that resonates with people and it all stems from emotion. But when you are doing it out of negative emotion, and so like it's gonna hit totally different.
Mm-hmm.
And so definitely having some regulation around your own emotions and knowing that like what to put out, when to put it out.
Mm-hmm.
And then also that kind of pressure of building your brand. But was there ever a time when you doubted yourself or doubted the path that you were on? And what helped you stay focused and motivated and redirected you back to your end goal?
It was life. Letting life live its course. Letting life take you for the journey. There was a time, and it was recently, I went through like a really, really bad, like drought. Like I wasn't writing, I wasn't creating, I wasn't singing. I tried to rap, it was trash. Everything was just bad. Like I was just not doing the thing, and I thought I lost it. I thought it was gone. Until recently, I started writing again, and I'm like, okay, we got it, back and better. But just going through that time is just such a hard moment for me, especially for myself when I'm banking like all I have on creativity and on art. And it's such a risk. It's such a risk, and people think I'm crazy for it all the time. But I really believe in it. I really do. So I just smile. I just smile and I go on about it. When I didn't think I had it, it was bad. I was just thinking like I mean, I have songs now. Like I have a lot of songs, but when I run out of these songs, like what am I going to do? Like I can't write. I can't do these things. And I think it was about experience too. Sometimes you just have to get out and do new things and try new things and meet new people and be inspired by something. I think finding new inspiration and finding God also, praying also to just know that's always going to be there and it's always something to come back to. It's in you, it's not on you. That's something that a lot of people said to me that I really have to remember and stick with that because it is true. When people go through these droughts and things like that, they can get into that. I said, like, I lost it. But it's like you can't lose something that's already inside of you. It's just about bringing it back up to the surface.
And that can be really scary because you really are heavily taking a chance on you and believing in yourself. And that is both inspirational and I can see why it's a little scary because a lot of people, and that's kind of why I asked about the majors in college, because a lot of people, you can go to college and learn something that somebody else invented. I can learn how to be a teacher, I can learn how to be an engineer, but when you're doing something creative, it's all stemming from you. And so, like, that is a big leap of faith to take, and I'm so happy that your confidence was restored in that because I feel like that is just a different kind of success. And I think that it hits way different and it flows way different. I feel like your energy is just on such a different level.
I didn't want to mention before, I told you I was the oldest. There was a little flaw there. So my family situation is a little bit unique. I was raised by my aunt, is my father's sister, but she's been raising me since I was 2 weeks old. That's Mama Bear, it's Mommy. And she has 2 twins, yes. And I also have, like, so many siblings. Oh, gosh. So many siblings over in Vegas, actually. I have, like, I have 13 total. And I have a lot of them over there. They all make music, too, actually, which is really cool to me. I think we get it from our dad. My dad is somebody that really, really, really inspired me growing up. He was in prison until I was 14 years old. It was like, actually, my first day of freshman year was when he got out of jail. He came to my house and seen me. And it's been crazy ever since. But growing up, I always had, like, his, like, CDs, his old CDs, and he was really successful out in Vegas, him and my uncle. And I would just always listen to their music, and I would be like, dang, like, my grandma would tell me stories about, like, how he was so close and how he signed his deal, and then he ended up going to prison, and it was, like, bad. And I always had that in my mind, like, I have to be the one to take these steps forward, and because they weren't able to do so. So I really, really enjoy walking in that.
I have some Tupac vibes there. Yeah, I think that separation and that, like, having that connection to a parent and then them being absent for a while it either fosters that connection or breaks it. And so I think that when it is fostered and it's like that connection that you have that you hold on to in place of that relationship, it can become something really amazing. And then when you break it, you're just losing potential.
Yeah.
And so I think that being able to dig into those emotions and those feelings and let it bloom into something more is when all the real, like, creativity and things that will span for longer than your lifetime are born. And so that is wonderful.
Yeah, I think it taught me love. I think it taught me some real love, though. some really, really deep things. This is coming up a lot recently, just in my mind. Just thinking about how people have a perception of love that's like possession, or like, I love you because I can see you and I can touch you and I can hear you and feel you. But growing up with my father and only being able to talk to him over the phone and things like that, I feel like it really instilled like a different sense of love and ability in me that it's just coming up now, because just have been a little like comparison towards my peers and things like that, and seeing how they struggle with that sense, and seeing how that's never something that's really crossed my mind before. So I feel like it's a blessing. It's a blessing, but also an unfortunate event as well.
That is very true. Looking ahead, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Do you plan to, well, we know you plan to continue pursuing music and theater, hopefully professionally, but bigger picture, what's the goals? What do you think? Where's your head at?
22 million Spotify listeners monthly. I love it. I love to hear it. It's just going in my head a little bit. I want to be on a larger scale by then. Hopefully more in the LA area. I really did love LA. I hate New York. I'm so sorry if anybody loves New York. It's definitely not the place for me. I think I'll be in school, hopefully out of school, actually. Like, if it was up to me in a perfect world, I'll go to school for a little bit and then I'll have to finish online or something, because my life is just too crazy and I have to be in so many different places at one time. So I definitely want to go back to the West. Want to be where it's hot. Hopefully have a really nice tan by then. I'm a little pale these days. I want some things that I'm proud of to be out. I want some things that I'm proud of. I want to be working film as well, doing my writing stuff. I also, one thing that I'm really passionate about too, I want to assist people in writing, and also like write for some of my favorite artists, some people that I really enjoy, or some people that are even up and coming, anybody that really needs help or in
Name
that
drop.
area.
Name drop the artists. Favorites, local, bigger.
I would love to write for SZA. I would love to personally work with Doechii. I would love to work for Doechii. Not work for. I would love to work with her. Jesus. I don't know. I can't really name drop too many people, because it's like everything. I feel like everything all comes so naturally, and I never know who I will come across or meet or anything like that. But I just know I want to be fully immersed in the process by then. Like, really, I would say have my foundation, have like a good name for myself by that time.
That's really, really cool. I feel like, just kind of giving your energy and your vibes, you strike me as like the type of person to move around a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And so do you have plans on, staying in Pittsburgh a little bit longer, coming back, never touching it again? How are you feeling? And then in terms of living for the next 5 years, do you want to stay in one big city like LA, or do you want to kind of move around?
Well, I'm definitely a Sagittarius, so your energy reading is definitely on point. I cannot stay still. I love to move. I love to stay busy. That's the only way my brain can function. Ideally, I would probably, I'll come back to the city as much as I can, just for family and things of that nature. But if it's up to me, I would like to be moving around as much as possible. Working, like I wanna work. I wanna stay busy. I wanna stay booked. Things of that nature. I have no problem with travel, things like that. I've really been thinking into that recently, to just thinking about how everybody's splitting paths for college and catching up with my peers and my friends, and just comparing our lifestyles and how I want that to be. And I just know I can't see myself being somebody that will just settle down somewhere anytime soon.
Yeah, I feel that. I get those vibes. I feel very similar too. I feel like Pittsburgh is also really small and at times suffocating. And so just that excitement of living here for a really long time and then getting to the end of high school and knowing that you can finally make your own decision and get out of here is like, I feel like some people, it either scares you and then you stay, don't really experience anything else other than Pittsburgh, or you get really, really excited and go, and then it's like you're literally anywhere but here all the time?
I feel like you just can't. Like, I feel like you just can't. Like, I encourage everybody to get out their hometown, even if it's not just to move, just to visit or just to see. It's so easy to get caught up in here and seeing what's here, and just also to like, just the scenery isn't the best either. Being able to see, like, I can't tell you the high that I was on coming back from California. I've never seen anything like that. Just straight out of a painting. All the mountains, the valleys, the open road. Even the streets are different. The way people drive are different. The way people talk, everything. Like, people need to physically see that in order to know that it's real. I feel like it just taints the perception if you just stay in one place forever. I would love to come back though. I want to put a lot into the city, a lot into my district as well.
How are you giving back to your community? How community oriented are you?
I would say I'm not as community oriented as I would love to be, but I've been in a lot of different mentorship programs or like leadership programs, or even just extending things on my own. Like I love to shoot text messages to people I see struggling on social media and things like that, just offering my help, offering my assistance. Anything that is community-based, like I do shoot to do it. Like I know a little while ago, I know the mayor was doing like youth advocation, looking for different people to speak at different council meetings and things like that. Always open and love to do things like that. Just because in another lifetime, like I am a lawyer and like one of the best of the best, and like I will argue you down and like I will defend what I have to. So, yes, I love to share my thoughts and feelings, and how things could change and how people can affect the youth.
I love that. And that has me curious now. What is one of your strongest opinions about anything?
One of my strongest opinions. I have so many.
That's so real.
I have so many. It's just like if somebody were to ask me something, like, no, like this is not that.
Mm-hmm.
I truly believe that social media is very bad. I do say that a lot. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I think it's bad. I think just overall, like the advancement in technology is bad. I feel like it's helpful in a lot of ways, but I feel more and more disconnected every day.
Yeah, and it definitely makes it way harder for creative people, because there's people who, like, previously you could be separated from because you are a really good singer. I can't sing to save my life, but now I can download all the AI and I can make it sound like me singing.
I didn't want to say the big beast. It's so scary, man. I just feel like, what am I doing this for? Like the other day I was in music tech and they were literally just putting in different prompts, like make me like a grungy 90s vibe lyrical song, and it'll just come up with some song, like the beat, the voice, the vocals, everything mixed, mastered, boom, ready to go. Like it sounds like something you'll play on Spotify. And I'm just like, wow.
It's crazy, because then it's like, I mean, I see that for a lot of younger people who are trying to get into music just for fun. And it's like, okay, you don't need a producer. I make a lot of cover art for a lot of local SoundCloud artists in Pittsburgh. And it's like, now you can just generate your covers. So now what do you need me for? I don't have to talk to you and draw your stuff and we send it back and forth. Like it just limits so much interaction and opportunities for people. The artists that I've worked with is like, you have someone who makes your beats. You have somebody else who like does all your editing. You have somebody else who makes your covers. You have some people who vet your lyrics. And it's just cutting so many people out of the mix. And I think that part of those interactions is a big part of the finished product. And if you're doing it all by yourself or doing it with a computer, it's nowhere near as intimate. And then your impact is not as big.
And I feel like that's another thing though, like too, like people don't really appreciate things the same way either. So it's like, even though it doesn't have that intimate connection, even though it's not, I feel like everybody's really on a superficial level. Everybody's on a superficial base. I like to say, like, everybody has their pacifiers. Like, nobody really likes to feel things. And when you give a baby a pacifier, like, they stop crying, you know? I feel like everybody has their pacifiers, whether that's, like, substances, or it can be even music for some people, or it can be sleeping, eating, running, self-harm, et cetera, et cetera. I feel like nobody really is willing to get down to those nitty-gritties. So, it's a little bit of a concern, but I just have that faith, too. I feel like I'm blessed. I feel like I'll be blessed to be in, like, the last little bit of percentile of, like, the natural ways to go.
Yeah, I think, that's important. And I am blessed in the sense that I don't have any of those, like, vices on the extreme end. But I just feel so bad for people who do. And then it just is, the more that technology advances and the more that people disconnect, you just become so much more, alienated from anything that could pull you out of that. And then the way that our social media algorithms work is, like, just makes it worse and just feeds you more things to make it worse. And so I hope that we all break out of that and we all get back to walking in the grass without shoes on and all the things, letting the earth pull the toxins out of your body.
And then taking some ginger shots.
Oh, yeah.
Ginger shots, no Don Julios.
So for young creatives who dream of being on stage, similar to you, but are very unsure of themselves, what advice would you give to them?
Just do it, man. Just do it. Just do it. And if you know you can't do it, just be somebody else. Be somebody else. I have 3 people in my head. There's probably 4, but I don't talk to them. There's 3 people in my head. They're all crazy and they're all stupid, but they're genius too in their own ways. And I always like to say this, like, you should be yourself. And if you're not able to do that, just be who you always wanted to be. Every day people wear masks. Every day people do that. Every day online people wear masks. In real life people wear masks. And sometimes it's okay to not be able to show up as yourself. But knowing that there is something that you really want and something that you really want to do whatever it takes. And it really does take a sense of vulnerability and a sense of willingness to really put yourself out there on that level. Fear is not real. Fear is fake. Fear is really fake. Fear is phony. And behind it, I feel like behind what you are afraid of is, like, exactly what you're looking for, always. So I just tell everybody, just do it. Just go for it. Just do the thing. Practice. Have somebody you really trust. If you're really worried about it, do it in front of a smaller audience. Do it in front of a few people or just one person that you really think will give you an honest opinion before you really go out there and do it for real. And put your all into it when you do it. Have fun.
That's really great advice. And I feel like you're really just speaking to my, like, own internal crazy. But do you talk to yourself?
I do. All the time.
I see.
All the time.
I hate, like, when people stigmatize talking to yourself, because how else are you supposed to get to know yourself?
No, literally how?
Like what?
How?
You gotta talk it out.
Talk it out, write it out, whatever you have to do.
All of it. See, that might just be like a creative people thing.
It might be.
But I don't understand how, because I guess I've never been anything else, so I don't understand how other people operate. And I don't even think it's like a neurotypical thing. I think it's just like everyone's a different chemical.
But also, though, I don't know. I have to be a little devil's advocate because me and my manager talk about this all the time. And we talk about how, like, all creatives are just, like, all people in general are just, like, a little bit autistic, like, just a little bit on the spectrum. Everybody has their own little stems and things of that nature. So, girl, I don't know. We might be a little bit, be a little cuckoo. But that's just makes it colorful. Like,
right.
It's just, why be
And that color's blue.
Green, too. I love greens. I love my greens. I love green, blue, and brown. Those are my colors.
I am just curious about, because your style is so, like, I don't even know how one would describe it. It's just so many things, and I love it. I don't know. Like, how did you discover your style? How did you, but just the energy, like, because, you know, you're judged off of appearance. Like, the first thing people see is how you look. And so already they have, like, preconceived notions about you before you ever open your mouth to speak. And I feel like your energy radiates really strong, but then also the way that you present yourself with the things that you wear is just, it adds to that and it amplifies that. And it makes it almost, I think it makes it way more difficult to ignore you, because I think that everyone feels like a strong energy and a strong vibe, and it's easier to brush it off if the person is not also presenting themselves in that way, to where it's like, no, you can't ignore me. Like, you have to acknowledge me and you have to hate me to my face.
Yes.
And now I know that you're ignoring me because you have to do it on purpose.
Yes.
And so how did you get to that point of, like, that confidence of being this, like, I don't even want to say loud, but just this presence?
Okay. So there's a couple different things I wanna go over. First, you have to do it wrong. I used to look a hot mess. Holy cow! Oh my gosh, I used to look so bad. Like I used to go to Kennywood. It's the middle of the summer with freaking fur. It just was bad. Like I can pull up the worst things ever, but taking those risks and doing the thing and continue to doing the thing and loving what you do. Like at the time that was chic. Like that was that. Like I was that girl. Looking back, girl, go in the house. What do you have on? Why would you what's going on? But just allowing yourself to make those choices. I was blessed to have a mother that kept me dressed until I was able to dress myself. So she told me about like the color coordination thing. Like I already had that down packed. Like I knew like, okay, this has to match accessories, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, cool. But one thing I think that really, really, really helped me, I don't know if things would have been different for me, was moving. Yes, because I did move houses, but also just switching my schools. Before, I didn't really explore with my style or even just my emotions, things like that. Like people aren't really open to that where I come from. And going to a charter school and being with people that come from all over the place and artistic people as well, I felt more open. I knew I wasn't subject to judgment where I was. So being able to explore that and then getting comfortable in that and then just being able to fully embody it, it was a process, really a process. I feel like if I would have stayed at my home district, it probably would have been harder for me. It probably wouldn't have grown to such a large scale as it is now. Probably would have been something I kept more quieter, just because of just the feedback and just stares and things that you would get. I was able to build that resilience because it starts from the inside. Like I was able to build that resilience being in that space and then coming into it rather than starting there and developing it there. Even if anyone is in that space and they don't have the ability to find that comfort zone, just know that you're badass and like everybody is not you. Like nobody's gonna be you. Nobody's gonna necessarily understand it either. Like I just dress based off of how I feel. Like how I feel, how I wanna present myself, what I wanna look like that today. Whoever I mentioned about the different personalities and things like that, whoever wants to present themselves today, whoever feels unheard. I try to keep it all balanced up here. So just making sure everybody's accounted for and everybody's represented in a nice way. Yeah, it all goes into that. And what you mentioned about people and the way that you present yourself and how it makes an impact on like the outcome and the way people listen to you and observe you and things of that nature is something that I really take seriously too. I feel like being well dressed is something that people look to like naturally. It's like a trust thing. Like, oh, okay, like like I don't know if that's the best word for it, but I feel like it definitely does make an impact on how people perceive you and how people treat you and things like that. Another thing that really goes into it, I say a lot, is consistency. And that is just because I always say that people don't really notice if you didn't do something. People won't notice if you didn't do it. Like, people will say that a lot in the sense of, like, messing up. Like, if you mess up a line or you mess up a dance or you mess up a song or something, like, nobody's going to notice, like, you didn't do that. But I always like to say, like, people will notice if you do.
Yeah, if you
do
notice
that extra thing. Like, if I, like, nobody will notice if I didn't wear this tie today. But because I do have it on, it is something that you do notice, and it is something that adds and festers into it all. So just, just being creative, being yourself, letting your feelings guide you. Yeah. I don't know. It's something that I really take a lot of pride in. I really love fashion, and I really love designing and things of that nature. So I'm just happy that I have that ability to do so.
That's really cool. Of course, the interview is all about you, but do you have anybody that you would wish to shout out, whether it is a peer, a parent, a sibling, a friend, anyone that you just want to say, like, hey, I love you or something?
Oh, well, I love you, Grandma. I love you, Tina Vina. I love her. I also love my abuelita. Te amo más. Te amo to all my family in Las Vegas, actually. Thank you to my mommy here, of course, of course, of course. I love you to death. Shout out to Kyrie and Kalia, my little siblings. Shout out to my dad, Inezi, my manager, my dog. She's great. She's amazing. Check her out. Shout out to my best friend, George, my best friend, Ryan, Naya, everybody listening, everybody that love me, and I love them back. Shout out to Willing Hills, but also shout out to Westinghouse Arts Academy. Shout out to Nick Lenz over there. Shout out to Lewis McDonald. People don't know, man. Big Lou, man. Big Lou is the reason why I'm such a good MC. Lou is somebody that helped me when it comes to this rapping. I was never a rapper before. I was always just a singer and a writer, poet, whatever. But he really helped me find my swag and also just put me deep with so much history and stuff like that. It's so much culture, and that's why I take so much pride in that culture. Shout out to my little brother, 5K Dawn. Shout out to my big brother, the Ben Reaper. They're good rappers over in the West Coast, Vegas area. Check them out if you really like that type of music. If you want a trap scene, if you want a hip-hop scene, shout out to them. Shout out to Sean, to all them boys doing their thing for surely. Yeah, shout out to you. You are
Thank
so
you.
amazing. I'm so happy to see you shine, and I'm so happy to see you doing your thing. So happy. I just remember being in your shoes and being in your position, and just even not in your position, like wanting to be in your position, what you're doing. So it's just like, it's so amazing. I love to see the fact that there's a young girl out here doing her thing and also putting people on and just articulating herself in such a beautiful way. It's just such a beautiful thing to see. So I just shout out to you so much. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Thank you so much for coming, and I do appreciate that so much. Before we wrap, okay, and then what are all of the platforms that we can find you on? What is, like, the name, username, like, literally the whole rundown, everything?
All right. So as far as music goes, I'm on all streaming platforms under Aryana Kapree. It's ARYANA KAPREE. And you can catch me on SoundCloud as well. I post more on SoundCloud than I do everything else just because the rights and there's so much business that goes into making music. It's not just putting it out. So in order to make sure that you guys get what I'm working on now, I like to post up on SoundCloud all the time. On there at KAPREE XOXO. It's super cute. I post all my demos on there. I love it so much. I'm on Instagram at Yanamula, YANAAMULAA. And I'm on TikTok at Kapree, KAPREE 1111.
That is a wrap for today's episode of Excellence in Motion, the Youth Spotlight series. Remember, excellence is everywhere. It's in our schools, our communities, our creative spaces, and on every stage where young artists like Aryana are making their mark. Don't forget to join me next time as we will continue to highlight the incredible youth and talent shaping the future. Until then, stay inspired, stay passionate, and keep moving forward. I'm Angelina, and this is Excellence in Motion.
I am Aryana Kapree, and I am excellent.